One of the things I love about Colorado, and we live in country that's got big mule deer. I look out the window every day and I see mule deer, but it just never gets old. I love looking at giant mule deer. So the chance to go to Timberline Guides, hunt this beautiful ranch, I mean, not far from Denver, just this 8,000 acre sprawling, magical, high elevation to mid-level all the way down to the bottom, was really just an amazing opportunity to see the best of Colorado in one hunt. Plenty of deer around.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna make that. Sure we are.
We're in a mountain country. The altitudes, we're pretty much at about 93. You might push that 10,000 mark, but it's real thick timber.
Deer. I didn't see it. I just saw the body looking like inside.
Let's drive up to it.
We put this Ranger in stealth mode and let's do it. I've had Polaris Rangers for 10, 12 years now, and I love them. I mean, they're such a passport to the high country, to great adventure. And between my Ram truck and a Polaris Ranger, those are two amazing transport vehicles into the best days of your life, frankly. Pretty, huh? Boy, give him another year, huh? One more year. Maybe two. Beautiful, huh?
Right there in the sun.
Beautiful ranch, and what was so cool about this ranch is it was low elevation to high elevation. We did a lot of climbing, lots of different kinds of country within that property, 9,000 acres adjacent to national forest, wilderness area. So kind of a giant reservoir, very tough to access on the public land side. So it really was kind of a big reservoir of good deer. Two does. Ooh, who's that below? Is that one of the does?
Is that one buck? I don't know. Let's go up there. That might be him.
That's the buck down below, isn't it? Or is that other buck? Down in the middle of the field? It's a big body deer.
Yeah, that's a big body buck. That's a big body deer, bud.
It was an amazing volume of mule deer. Everywhere we looked, there were deer. And so it was this winding hop in the Polaris Rangers, climb up and just glass and glass and glass, and all these clear cuts and openings and little meadows. It's a little buck. It's a small buck.
That's not him.
And the habitat was just full of edge. And if you're a hunter, if you're a sportsman, edge is where the action happens.
Whoa, 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 right there.
He doesn't have a worry in the world. He's got a nice frame, nice high frame. Whether it's birds or big game, it's always in and around edges. And this property was loaded with that, so it was just very inviting as a hunter.
You know, I think we can do better, bud.
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
He's not a bad looking deer.
No, he's not a bad deer. He's a little thin.
Yeah. You want to pass on there, Chris?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I already turned down over a dozen bucks on this hunt, and for good reason. There was a brute of a mule deer that liked to hang around this ranch, and my guide had seen him up close and personal. So we left early on the final morning for one last push uphill to see if we could find the beast of the neighborhood.
It's an awesome time to hunt this because you'll always get bucks that you haven't ever seen before. They're rutting, they're following does. If you find does, you'll find bucks. It's just an awesome time to be here.
We get up and we're taking the Rangers up into the high country. I said, look, I've seen some good deer way up high.
Right there, that's a good buck, Chris.
And sure enough, we come around a bend and there's this buck. I mean, he's standing in the sun, we're still in the shadows.
Oh, he is a pretty deer.
Nice mass, nice height.
He is a pretty deer.
When you see a buck and you're starting to make a stalk in there because you have to get in position to make a shot, it's that moment of uncertainty when you know it's a pretty good buck. He's got nice mass, got nice height. The heart's doing the trip hammer jig, you're excited about it. I mean, that's when all the senses are alive, that's when you're awakened. Just to the edge of the ears. Yeah, we're talking about you. And it's amazing to me, the clarity and low light conditions are doing just fine. He's gonna be a really nice buck. He's just a little young. Pretty buck. Close, but not quite. He's gonna be a really nice buck.
That other buck is taller and heavier than him.
Yeah, see if we can find him. It's early, you know? Just a pretty mountain buck. Be even prettier next year. You know, sometimes it just pays to be lucky. Sometimes the best hunting is done when you're asleep. Well, something like that. There I was, having a nap midday, gonna get ready to go out in the afternoon, and Nate comes flying in, my son, and says, "Dad, get up, get up. Drew spotted a big buck, you gotta go right now." We've been hearing about a couple of big bucks on the ranch, but it's the rut, you know, it works both ways. They come in and they leave. You just never know, it just depends on the hot does, how they move. Just scrambling, getting dressed, and get outside, and Drew's like, "Yeah, this is a nice buck. This is a buck I've seen on this ranch before. He's just been gone. We don't know where he was in the rut, chasing does off the property, whatever, but he's back and he's chasing a doe right now." The next thing you know, he's scrambling up here and says, "Hurry up, there's a 30-inch buck down here." And he'd seen this buck earlier in the year, multiple times, so he knew he was around. Just took the right doe to get him back. The massive buck that kept hanging around this ranch was back and he was looking for love. So we prepared to set up an ambush. This Model 70 is just dead on, man. It's fun shooting at the range because it was just so tight. Really nice. So this is where you've been seeing the big guy, huh?
It is, Chris. I've been seeing him around here for about a week and a half now, and if we can get on him, he's a good one.
I tell you what, with the rut, they're just crazy moving right now. You never know. So we just kind of go weaving down to the bottom of the ranch, and we spot a bedded doe, spot another bedded doe. He said, "Look, that's the doe. I'm sure that's the doe he was with. He's got to be here somewhere." Oh yeah, look at that. I could just see the tips of antlers in this basket sitting in the grass. See him?
That's him.
Yeah. Stand up. Big, beautiful, 30-inch-ish, beautiful, beautiful Colorado mule deer. He might be there a long time, man. I don't know.
You want me to bleed at him?
Yeah, see if you can get him up with that.
Hey! I don't want him to run, though, either.
No, you don't.
Well, he's got that doe bedded right off to the side of him.
I know. You wanna try to touch him?
Yeah, if I can get the doe to stand, he'll stand too.
Yeah, I just don't want him bolting out of there, you know?
Okay.
You press him too hard, he's gonna scramble.
I mean, I could try walking that way.
That might be better. And we're waiting, and I finally said, "We gotta try and get him up. Can we nudge him? You don't wanna spook him, you don't want him bolting out of there. Because he might be there for 2 hours.
Oh, I know. He could be here for a little while. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me work to the right here and see if I can't get that doe up.
Right. Hopefully he doesn't step up right behind that tree.
It's worth a shot. Otherwise, we're gonna be here.
He's looking, but I don't think he's gonna get up unless we get him up. Could be a long time, so go ahead, yeah, let's do that.
I'm just gonna work that way.
All right, I'll stay on him. Yeah, that's a nice buck. Drew said, "Look, I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna go all the way around." And he got the doe up, and I could see this buck turn its antlers, turn its head. It's a 30-inch buck. That is a dandy buck. Just hope he doesn't bolt out of there or stand up right behind that tree. And then he was focused on Drew instead of me. You see him? He's getting nervous right now. He's looking right at him. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. He's up. Here we go.
He's down, buck.
What a buck. What a buck. Oh, dude, he is so wide. Just boom, boom, boom. He went maybe 40 yards, tipped over, and that Winchester just pounded it. It was a fantastic moment. This was a big, beautiful buck. That's a pretty buck. Whew, that's what we've been looking for. Hey, my man. Good job, buddy.
Made it happen on that one, huh, Chris? Dark horn.
Yeah, just nasty. Cool looking. Good mass on him, nice width. He's gonna be close to 30.
Yeah, he ought to be right there at that benchmark.
That is a beautiful buck.
Yeah, that's a whole nother animal there.
That's a whole different beast. When they get that age, that size, it's just like they behave like a different species.
It is.
They're just,
Age class.
yep, it's a very different game. At that point, with my boys having taken deer, my brother having taken a nice buck, I was perfectly content to go home without ever pulling the trigger. I didn't have to shoot anything, but then Mr. Big showed up. What a hunt, man. I tell you what, this place is just covered in mule deer. It's dealer's choice.
It
Whatever you're
is.
looking for. Got some non-typicals, you got tall stuff, wide stuff, lots of deer. Quite a place, man. Quite a place. You guys are a lot of fun to hunt with. We got to do this again. That was just too much fun.